What is going on, guys? My name is Resolute, and today I'm in Stay Out. It's a free MMORPG stalker game. Came out in 2019, and I've noticed on YouTube there's not a lot of like early game money making guides. A lot of them are just like, how do you get the AKS-74U? And going and hunting Veralox on Vesuvius, which is a volcano map, which is not what I want to focus on today. So, what I want to focus on today is how some players may struggle to get enough money to, say, buy this AKS-74U and don't want to go hunt down mutants for 18 hours or whatever it's going to take you to get this thing. I got this pretty cheap at about 385k. Now, granted, I didn't make all of the 385k from just selling stuff. I did some quests. Quests are a huge part in making money, especially early on when you don't have gear. But I want to stress this. The selling system is not the greatest. Buying is fairly simple. So say I want an AKS. I just go to the search bar, I type in AKS, and all it will do is pop AKS. They're going for about 400. I usually see them at about 500-ish. But it seems like the lowest right now is 400. And that's at Sergey the Smuggler, so that's not here. When you buy them, wherever they're being sold at is where they will go into the storage. And so you gotta pay attention to that. This guy is the station stockman. And this is where you store stuff. Like you can just do this and this, and boom. It's no different. But if I try to go to Sergey the Smuggler, where a lot of my stuff is, and where I would advise you go and sell your stuff at, because that's the highest concentration of players that I can see, I can't drag stuff into my inventory. And, you know, whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know. But in order to make money, you know, even 100k to start out, I like to hit these apartments and then work my way along here and see exactly how much money I make. And if I end up not making the amount that I want to make, I'll usually do the run 2-3 times, and then after each run I'll go to the station stockman that's in there and store all my stuff until I'm ready to go transfer it. You can just send it from the station stockman over. That takes time though, and if you're trying to just make money, it's sometimes better to just run with all the stuff and try not to die. And if you die, you don't lose everything, you just drop a few items. But if you've got some stuff that's like high chance of losing it, you don't want to lose it, by all means send it to whatever stockman you want to send it to. If you're going to turn it into a quest inside the city of Lubeck, do so. Just know there are more players at the gourmet camp. So where I usually like to start my run is right in here. Now, what you're looking for is these apartments. These apartments have open doors. Like that one right there. But there's one apartment in E5, it's usually, I think, this door. I think it's this door right here. That you go into, and there are no rats inside. It is probably the most common one you see players in. Simply because rats, little rats that are inside these, they tend to just do a lot of damage over time. But there are no rats in here, as you can see so far. Usually by now I would have been at least bitten by one. And so you're going to find players in here. The most common see this guy. I think he's waiting for stuff to respawn on this floor. So there's two options I could do. I could kill him, or I could let him live. I usually tend to let them live, I've had one instance where I opened a box in front of a dude and he aimed his gun at me, but I ran away really quick. If you're running from players, just running down the stairs is probably the best option, getting out the door. And then if they decide to chase you out, if you get out of the loading screen before them, you have the option of killing them and you have the upper hand. I tend to shy away from PvP just because I don't really think it's worth your time. I could be wrong though, and maybe I'll do some testing in the future. It seems pretty picked clean though, so it may be worth killing that guy. We'll see. If he's still down there and I don't find anything, I think I'll kill him real quick. This is also one of the best ones because of the amount of floors it has that you can loot. And you want to, like, look on top of the fridges, on the counters, on the floor, sometimes in the cabinets. Out here you can find suitcases pretty regularly. Inside the kitchens, it's either food items or medical items. And then in rooms like this, you can find ammo crates, you can find medical, chemical, and random containers. And you can find certain medical items that make quite a bit of money. Aspirin is at least 100k on the market, and it's a very sought-after item. And so, if you could stack up 3-4 aspirins, you can make, depending on probably the market and how much people are willing to pay, you can make probably $500,000. So we just got some generic loose loot. We got some 9x18 Macaron ammo. We got some starter pistol ammo, some shotgun cartridges, and some gunpowder. So not the best start, but like I said, you're not always guaranteed anything, especially in this place, because of the amount of players that come here to make money. And like I said, stuff respawns. So right now, sadly, I've made only probably less than $1,000. And, you know, that's just the case of it. This guy is just AFK completely. Okay, this is actually good. That's a few grand at least. I might end up killing this guy. Yeah. I think we should, guys. He's got a shotgun and an AKS. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. So what we need to do now is literally get out of the area. I'll show on the map when I get out the 2 places he could spawn in. And I'm just trying to beat him out of the area so he can't find me. That's if he was just away from his keyboard. So he can spawn here, or he could spawn down here. Those are the 2 closest places. Vacuum tubes are actually really good. That'll make me close to 20k. I don't know, I've actually never seen a vacuum tube. And what you are looking for, just open doors. Preferably the farther away from players, the better. If you're ever trying to escape dogs, good strategy to do. Find an open apartment complex that you can get in. And all you ever really need to do these apartments is just a pistol. The starting pistol or the TT once you do a few quests. Those are usually enough. my advice is don't even shoot the rats that are in here. It's not generally worth your time. See, like, that rat did no damage to me, but they do accumulate damage over time pretty easily. And if you're shooting them, players are going to hear that shooting, especially if they come inside, and they might go, alright, this guy's not aware that there's a player in the building, let me just go kill him real quick. But, yeah. Seems like this was not worth coming into, sadly. And the reason you want to have Antidote with you is because the rats, even though I didn't know this until I started running these apartments in here, they do deal a poisoning effect, and the Antidote gets rid of that. And all the poisoning really does is do a little bit of health over time and make it hard to see, and especially if someone is trying to hunt you down, it's going to make it a lot harder for you to be able to see them and shoot them if you're poisoned. So we'll hit this one up. And all we're looking for is just containers that we can loot. That's not always going to be the case. There are some apartments that have been ran through and you don't even see the player who ran through them. There's going to be some apartments where just nothing spawned. And that's part of the game. You don't really have any control over that. So, yeah. First two are empty, that sucks. But my advice, carry a few medkits on you. Just be ready to have to fight a player. Like I said, don't like to. But it's totally up to you whether or not you want to do it. Do I think it's worth it to farm these places? Yes and no. Really depends on your amount of money you have. Depends on the items you may need for quests. Like right now I'm looking for threaded pipes, and I've only found one so far. They're not the most common. I'm also looking for toilet paper. I've only found one so far. But as far as items like aspirin, for starting out players, if you can get, like I said, 2-3 aspirin, you can make at least 250 for good. Now all these dogs are chasing me, and getting bit by a pack of dogs is not the funnest thing to have happen to you. And so you just dip into here, and your dog problem is solved. Oh, I think this is the apartment that's got the fire up here. I have to research this room. I'll show you what I mean by fire. Really nothing? Oh no, trash right. Turpentine's good, that's at least 10k a bottle. They're pretty common. Yeah. Journals, bandana, cloth, clothing items sell for a decent amount. Suitcases usually have like filthy cloth rags, or they have matches in them. But what you're mostly after is the like medical. Aspirin, Levomats. Trying to think of some other ones that are really good. You can find clothing in here. Okay, no dogs about to jump me. Sweet. And you always got to be careful with players because you never know when a player could be just sitting on these stairs. Personally, I just kind of run in. If I get shot, I get shot. Obviously, as time goes on, you accumulate more loot. You got to think, do I want to depot the stuff that I do have and guarantee that I get out with that stuff, or do I keep going? And see right here, if I just use an antidote real quick. Boom, no more poisoning effect, but you can see how that can get annoying in a PvP fight. Oh, I about missed that. But yeah, and you can find stuff in these places that help you get personal credits. If there's items that are not selling for a lot on the market, but you can sell them to certain traders to get personal credits, I highly recommend doing that if you don't want that item and you know you don't need it for a quest. If you have any, questions about that, I've done most of the quests inside of Lubeck, so leave a comment down below asking about the quests and I'll let you know if I know if you need it or not. Dogs are just annoying, but as you can see, they're not the hardest thing to take down. The technician lives in this building inside that door. Dog. Ammo doesn't sell for a lot, but you can find like armor piercing rounds and whatnot every now and then. And so it's not the worst. So we just get out our fully automatic gun to defend ourselves from other players. Don't really pay attention to the rats. Oh, almost missed the door. What do we got going on here? Oh, just a bunch of rats. Seems like it. Next floor. And the more time you put into doing this, the more you're going to get out of this. So, don't just loot one apartment and call it quits because you didn't find anything absolutely amazing. I would say for a new player, if you do find like something like aspirin, or if you look and see what's valuable on the market and end up seeing, oh, I have something worth, whatever, and you want to get out, by all means, there's no shame in securing the amount of money that you will be making off of that one item. A lot of this stuff can be sold to technicians for personal credits so that they can help you get certain items. Personal credits are sometimes really hard to grind on certain traders, and so if you can figure out a way to just constantly shovel stuff to them to get personal credits for whatever item you can, good on you. I may do a personal credits guide depending on how well this video does. Screw it, 10 likes and I'll do a personal credits guide to the best of my knowledge. Socks, wow. Okay, I don't know how much the socks go for. I've only ever found one, and I'm currently wearing them, and now that I have 2 extra pairs, I will definitely figure that out. Clothing sells for quite a bit of money. The leather jacket that I have, I found in an apartment, and that was going for 150, 175k. So yeah, you can find stuff that even you need clothing-wise. There's plenty of stuff plenty of stuff to be had in these apartments, and I think they're so overlooked by a majority of the player base. It's funny. So if you're a new player looking to make some quick cash, these apartments are the way to do it, hands down. Not farming dogs, selling their meat. It's these apartments right here. Don't think these don't have anything in them. You can make quite a bit of money off of just looting these apartments. Yeah. So this is what we all got. 2 pairs of socks, a bandana, vacuum tube off of killing that guy, the copper wire. I probably made 50-ish K, 50, 70K. So not a terrible haul. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helped. And if you want to see some other videos, please let me know. Anyways, my name's Resolute. Have a great rest of your day.